Purchasing tools can be found in the main tab Purchasing. There are goods and services list, purchase orders, purchase receipts, purchase invoices, outgoing payments, and counterparties list in this tab. The main purchasing documents are purchase receipt and outgoing payment. Purchase receipt records the fact of goods receiving, the placement of these goods in the warehouse, and the creation of a debt to the supplier for these goods. Outgoing payment records the fact of payment to the supplier for the goods received and writes off the created debt. To do this, create a purchase receipt document in the system. The document can be created using the Create button, right-click Create, or More Actions button, Create. The supplier must be specified in the document. It can be selected from the Counterparties list. If it's not in the list, then you need to create it. If necessary, specify the in-charge person, the price type, and currency. You also need to indicate the warehouse to which the goods will be shipped. To add goods to be accepted from the supplier, you need to select them in the document from the products list. Also, it is necessary to indicate the quantity of the goods received, the price, and other data. Any number of different goods can be filled in this table, but each item on a new line. After making all the necessary changes, you need to save the document. Attention! The saved document is a draft. Such document takes no action. It is used to create records and save them for future reference. The document will perform the necessary operation and record its actions only after posting, clicking on the button Post. If a draft of the document is not needed, but it is necessary to immediately perform the actions of the document, then the document can be posted or posted and closed immediately. You can change the date of this delivery of the goods by changing the date of the document if required. Purchase receipt is done. By holding this document, the goods were shipped to the company warehouse and the company has a debt for this product. This debt can be paid off using the outgoing payment document. With the help of this document, it is necessary to record any expenses of the company's money. To indicate in the system that payment was made to a specific supplier for a specific product, you need to create a document link between purchase receipt and the outgoing payment. To do this, you need to use the command Convert to Payment in the purchase receipt document. The system will create a document Outgoing Payment and transfer all data from the document Purchase Receipt into it. The base document will be also specified in Outgoing Payment. In this way, the system creates the link indicated earlier in the diagram. You can also change the date of this document to indicate the actual moment of that payment. The amount to be paid has been transferred to the Outgoing Payment from the base document. If necessary, you can indicate the cash box or bank account from which the money will be spent. Like any other document in the system, the outgoing payment must be posted in order to record the fact of debt repayment. The link between two documents created by the system is clearly displayed in the document map. Now the system indicates when and what product was received from the supplier and when and how much money was paid for this product. A more complex purchasing scheme is needed when it's necessary to order goods from a supplier first and payment for this product is made only after receiving an invoice. To implement this scheme, such documents are available in the system. Purchase order document is intended to record the fact of ordering goods from the supplier and control the receiving of the ordered goods, and the purchase invoice document is intended to record the fact of receiving an invoice from the supplier. First, let's consider a scheme where you don't need to order a product. You need to pay for it after receiving the invoice for the goods. In this case, you first need to build a link between the purchase receipt document and the purchase invoice document. And after that, create a link between the purchase invoice document and the outgoing payment document. Create a new purchase receipt document. Choose an option Convert to Invoice in the purchase receipt document to create purchase invoice after receiving the invoice from the supplier. The system transfers all the data from purchase receipt to purchase invoice and creates the link between these documents. use an option Convert to Payment to record the fact of payment for this invoice. New created documents will be represented each in its list. In this way, the system records the fact of receiving goods in invoice and the fact of payment for this invoice. Using the Convert option, you can also implement another purchasing scheme. Its essence is that the goods are shipped only after receiving the invoice and after providing a payment for it. First, you need to create the invoice in the system when it actually will be received. Indicate the list of products, their quantity, and prices in it. Then, convert the invoice to outgoing payment, and when the payment is provided and the goods are received, convert the same invoice to purchase receipt. You can also act in the reverse order, i.e., at first convert invoice to purchase receipt and then convert it to outgoing payment. It depends on the agreement with the supplier and on the company business process. In the same way, you can record the interaction with the supplier using the scheme Order, Goods Receiving, Payment. Convert the purchase order to purchase receipt. Please note, if some products were not shipped by a supplier, after converting purchase order to purchase receipt, you need to delete manually all the products that weren't received yet from the purchase receipt list. After that, the system will record uncompleted order, and when the supplier will ship the rest of goods, only previously unreceived products will be transferred to purchase receipt. The completed purchase receipt need to be converted to outgoing payment. Using the Convert option, you can create any sequence of documents depending on the agreement with the supplier and on the business process. Here is a diagram of all possible options for linking documents for the purchase of goods.